Hey guys! So today I'm going to be making chocolate chip cookies. These are some seriously good cookies. They're just the right amount of crunchy and gooey in the middle. What I'll do is I'll show you your shopping list of what you need to buy, and then I'll show you the ingredients I've got, and then we can go through weighing them together. So it's not going to be like one of those videos where it's like, oh, and then get you this and add it to that, and you're like, whoa, I haven't even measured that out. I'm going to measure it all out with you, go through, show you what you need to get out your cupboards, what you need to get from the shops. So hopefully that will make it super easy for you to follow and make some awesome cookies. Okay guys, so this is your shopping list of ingredients you need to buy. These are the amounts you need of them, but I will go through with you weighing them all out. But just so you know, that is your shopping list of items you need. Okay, so that was your shopping list. I'll show you which ingredients I have so you can get the exact same ones if you want. If not, whatever you've got is fine. Okay, so the first thing I bought is, I've got Country Life salted butter. Now, soft butter isn't any sort of special butter, it just means I basically left it out overnight so it hasn't been in the fridge. If you have got your butter straight out of the fridge, that's not really a problem. It just means it's going to be that bit harder for you to mix. So yeah, preferably leave your butter out overnight so it's nice and squidgy. Then I've got golden caster sugar. It doesn't need to be golden caster sugar, that's just what I'm using. If you've got normal caster sugar, that's absolutely fine. 2 eggs, I've gone for 2 large eggs. Doesn't matter if you've got small or medium. Baking powder. Pretty standard. Same with the vanilla essence. Mine's from Sainsbury's, you can get it from anywhere to be honest. Cocoa powder. Again, get it from any supermarket. Same with the plain flour. I think this was just the cheapest one I found in Tesco's to be honest, like 45p or something. Now I'm going to add walnuts because I like them, but they are optional. You don't need them for this recipe at all. Salt, you literally just need like a twist or a pinch, so it's not the most important ingredient, but it's meant to be in there. Now the most important ingredient as far as I'm concerned is the chocolate chips. Now because you need 325 of them, what I have done is bought 4 different bags of chocolate chips in 100 grams. So this one is dark chocolate chips, 100 grams of, milk chocolate chips, 100 grams of, and white chocolate chips, 100 grams of. Then to get my extra 25 grams, I've gone for milk chocolate chunks. So I've got 4 different types of chocolate, and of course the cocoa that makes these 5 times chocolate cookies, which makes them super awesome. The utensils that you will need to get out are sieve. That's kind of optional. If you don't have one, don't worry too much. It's just to get any chunks out of the flour and cocoa powder. If you don't have it, like I say, it's not the end of the world. Same with the electric whisker. I'm going to use one just because it's way quicker and easier. You don't have to use one, but if you're not using one, you might get a bit of an achy arm. It's not vital, but I'm going to use one. Now, what will be vital is the scales. So I've got my scales here, but they all look different. Cooling rack, I've got a couple of them, but if you have one, that's fine, you can do it in batches. A flat baking tray is important. Again, I've got 2, because we'll be making quite a few cookies. You'll also need 2 large bowls, wooden spoon, teaspoon, and knife. So that is all you need, as simple as that. Those are the ingredients, those are the utensils. Let's get on making these cookies. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is turn our ovens on to 180 or gas mark 4, depending on what type of oven you have. I've got a fan oven, so I'm going to put it on fractionally below 180 degrees, okay? Make sure your oven doesn't have any trays or anything in it because you want your trays cold so you can put your cookies on. So get all your trays out of your oven so it can heat properly, okay? The next thing we're going to do is weigh out our ingredients. The first ingredient to weigh is the caster sugar. So for that, we are going to use 300 grams. So weigh out 300 grams of your caster sugar. Quite a lot of sugar, I'm not gonna lie, this recipe is not in any way healthy. It is tasty though. Okay, so that's 300 grams of sugar, possibly a little bit more, so I'm just gonna take a little bit out. My scale's jumping around a little bit, which is annoying. That's fine. Or you can always take things out like that. Okay. So that's my 300 grams of golden caster sugar or normal caster sugar. What I'm then going to do is crack my eggs into this bowl. The reason I'm going to do it while the bowl is empty is because in case you drop any bits of eggshell, it's a lot harder to fish them out if you've already got the eggs on top of the sugar and everything else, okay? So crack your eggs into the bowl. Easier with a glass bowl, mine's plastic. Still doable though. Egg 1. Nailed it, got no shell in it. Gonna chuck that in the bin. Once I've done my eggs, I'm just gonna give my hands a quick swill as well, because I don't want raw eggs getting on my stuff, basically. It's kind of icky. So I'm just gonna wash my hands quickly. Chuck all the shells away. Suggest you guys also do this because you don't want egg on your fingers. Okay, then we can add our caster sugar into our eggs. So you can see 2 eggs in there, and check you haven't got any bits of shell in. I haven't. If you have, just fish them out with a spoon. Add your 300 grams of caster sugar to your eggs. Okay, back to your scales again. Now we are going to weigh out butter. Now, I know that in here is 250 grams. I need 225, so it's going to nearly be all of this, but not quite. In fact, I think someone's eaten the top of this butter. Oh, have they? Has it just melted? I'm not sure. It's coming out saying it is. No, I think it needs a bit taken off, so I'm going to remove a blob of the butter to get our 225, which, as I say, if you're using a pack of 250, it won't be a very big bit of butter that you're taking off. Probably just like a corner will do it. Yeah, so that's 225, and that's all I've had to take off of a normal sized piece of butter. Plop that into your bowl as well. Nice and soft, so it's gone everywhere. That's good, that's what we want. Scrape that out as best as you can. Right. Put the scales to one side for 1 minute now. And the next thing we need to add is our vanilla essence. We're just going to add 2 teaspoons of this. Okay. That's one. That's 2. Cool. Then get your wooden spoon and just gently squash the butter down into the rest of the ingredients. I like to do this before I use my hand whisk, just because otherwise you do have risk of throwing things everywhere. But if you get it into a sort of paste first, I'm literally just kind of squashing the butter on the side of the bowl with a spoon into the sugar. Now, if you don't have an electric hand whisk, you basically just keep doing this phase until it looks light and fluffy. Okay, so I'm just going to get it looking a bit like this, and now I'm going to hand whisk it. As I say, if you don't have an electric hand whisk, just keep going with the spoon until it mixes itself together and looks light and fluffy, okay? Getting bits off my wooden spoon because I am going to use the electric whisk for this next bit because I'm really lazy. And why not to be if you can be? Okay. Alrighty then, turn the electric whisk on. My electric whisk is plugged in behind me. I've put the metal spiky things, the mixers in, and I've plugged it in and turned it on the wall. So now I'm just gonna start on the low setting, go up to high setting, and make this light and fluffy basically. Starting off slowly to get everything off the edge, and then I'll speed it up. Make sure you include all the ingredients from the edges as well, so it's all mixed really well. Alrighty, a good tip for getting the excess food, you see it's all stuck in there, off, is to just hold them in the bowl and turn them back on without them actually being inside the mixture. So just hold them above the mixture, still in the bowl, and you might be able to see the little bits flying off. It just cleans all the mixture off, which is what you want. And if you can see now, they're much clearer than they were. So that's a good little trick. And what it's done is it's just flicked the excess, so you hold them just above, flicks the excess around the bowl. This is how you want your mixture to look, okay? Quite light, quite fluffy, no lumps, very well mixed, all right? How it should look. Okay, so once you've done your bowl of kind of wet stuff, as it were, we're going to do the bowl of dry stuff. So this is your flour, your cocoa powder, your baking powder, and your salt is what we'll be weighing out now. So firstly, I'm going to weigh out my flour, plain flour. We are going to have 250 grams of this. Okay, so pop that on your scales, 250 grams. Okay, I'd say that was about there. What I'm going to do with that is sieve it into my other bowl, my empty bowl. You don't have to sieve it if you don't have a sieve, but if you do, I recommend it just to get any lumps out of your flour, okay? Pour it gently, because any fast movements with flour can cause it to just explode everywhere, and you don't want that. Best way to sieve is just to hold it low to the bowl and just tap it on the edge of your hand, and you can see it coming out nicely there without it flying all over the kitchen, which is what it would really like to do. Sieve that out. Okay. And if you do get any lumps in the bottom, just use a spoon to squidge them through, okay? So there's nicely sieved flour in there now. Next item I'm going to weigh out is the cocoa powder. Now I need 55 grams of that. So let's put that in. Not going to be the easiest thing to get out of this funny little box actually. My scales aren't the most accurate, to be honest, so I guess this is about 55 here. Fraction more maybe, because I don't mind if they're a bit chocolatey. That looks like 55 to me now. Perfecto. And again, cocoa powder is a bit lumpier than the flour was. I'm just going to sift the cocoa powder into the same bowl as the flour in the same way that I did with the flour. As I say, if you don't have a sieve, just pop it in. So this has left quite a few more lumps in the bottom than the flour did. See there? So I'm just gonna get the spoon, squash them through the bottom till they're all gone. Cool. Perfecto. What I'm gonna add next into my bowl is just a little pinch of salt or a twist of salt, however you're dispensing it. So for me, that'll probably do. So if you don't have a twister, just put a pinch in. And the baking powder, I'm just going to, with my teaspoon, it's my small spoon, add about 3/4 of a teaspoon. So try to just squash it on the edge so it's not too heaped, and maybe a bit less, whatever you deem as 3/4. I think that's probably about right. I've got a gap at the top, so that seems about right to me. All right, so what we have now is our dry bowl and our wet bowl. I'm just gonna pour the contents of our dry one into our wet one, very gently so it doesn't fly everywhere. Give it a little tap, check it's all in there. If not, just run a spoon around. Scrape the last bits out. Perfect. Alrighty, now I'm just going to mix it, but again I'm going to do this whilst being very aware of how much flour likes to jump all over the place. So quite slowly, basically. Again, checking I get all the mixture in from around the edge. You would not want to put your electric whisker in here because it would just go like boom and explode in your face. I have probably tried that in the past, so I don't recommend it. This has to be done with a wooden spoon, just slowly mixing, and as you do so you will slowly see it starts to all go a nice dark colour and a nice more dough-like consistency. It's getting there, slowly, slowly. That's how it's currently looking. Slowly starting to stick together. Still looks a bit floury at this point, so I'm just going to keep mixing till it all sticks together. Get that ingredients in off the edge as well. It's starting to look good now. It's taken a really nice chocolatey colour. Oh, it tastes nice at this point as well. But I don't recommend eating it because it does have raw eggs in it. But I might eat it, we can't be sure. I'm just going to scrape the bits off the edge because they're annoying me, to ensure that it all gets included. Any extra ingredients is extra cookie. Alrighty, so hopefully yours is looking something like mine at this point. The flour's all mixed in. Just keep going until there are no more bits of the flour visible to you and it looks like this, okay? It should look like a gooey chocolatey mixture, and as you mix through it you shouldn't be seeing any dry bits left in it at all of the flour. Alright? Lovely. Okay, next bit. Try not to lick your fingers, but if you do, it tastes really nice. I'm just gonna wipe my fingers because I've got sugar all over them now. Oh, it tastes good already. Right, adding your chocolate chips. Okay, so it's 325 grams of these. I've got 100 per pack. I'm gonna add my white chocolate chips. Gonna add my milk chocolate chips. And I'm gonna add my dark ones. And then about 25 grams of my milk chocolate chunks. Now, to be honest, it doesn't matter if you go slightly over 25 grams, so I'm just gonna estimate. I know there was 100 in this packet, so I'm just gonna try and do about a quarter of it. Probably about right. Lastly, my walnut pieces. These are optional if you don't like walnuts or you have a nut allergy, do not add them, obviously. Again, it's about 60 grams. It doesn't matter if it's exact. I know there's 200 in here, so I can sort of roughly work out how much I need. If you want to weigh them out, by all means do weigh them out. I'm just being lazy. Make sure it's the walnut pieces and they're small enough. Some of these are a bit big. If they are, you can just break them up by hand. If you see any massive chunks, because you don't want them too big ideally. You just want them to be nice pieces. Alrighty, then mix it all together. And again, you just want to keep mixing until your ingredients are kind of equally spread through your dough. Oh, it looks good now. Okay, and that is your mixture done. Lovely. So to pre-warn you, this is a very gooey mixture, okay? It's very sticky, it's very wet, as you can see. It's quite different to a dough, which does mean it is a little bit tricky to get it onto your baking trays. Another thing I'll give you pre-warning of is when you put it on, it goes in quite high lumps. When you cook it, they will flatten out and grow wider. So try not to put your cookies too close together on the tray, because otherwise they're just gonna stick together. Also, you kind of need less than you would think per cookie. So just grab a spoon. This is a dessert spoon. Probably just need literally like that per cookie. So it's a dessert spoon, not a tablespoon I'm using. Get your knife. Can you see the tray there? Just plop it on, and as best as you can, just try and flatten it out. You don't need to grease the tray or put any baking paper on. They do actually come off quite easily. But if you're worried, I guess you could probably add a bit of baking paper, but I don't think it's necessary. So, as you can see, they're quite thick at this stage. Quite very sticky at this stage. That's fine. As I say, they will sort of flatten out when they cook. So, be aware of that when you're spacing them out. Try and get them sort of round. It's not that easy, to be honest, because it is a very sticky mixture. Oh no, I've slapped it. It's all good, it's all good. We can save it. I'm gonna try and not put them too close to the edge, because I'd rather them not fall off the edge. I'm probably only gonna do 6 on this tray, because they do swell up. And again, it's just a kind of matter of trying to squash them as much as you can, but they won't stay this thick. They will squash down, okay? Probably put less on there than you need as well. I think these would be quite big cookies, these ones. Hopefully you're managing to wrestle with them okay and they're not causing you too many troubles to get in a vaguely cookie-like shape. Okay, the use of the knife with these really does help because they stick to the spoon like hell. Okay, so I'm just going to do 6. This is how they look when they go in. Then I'm going to pop them on the middle shelf of my oven. And I'm going to time them 10 minutes, okay? While I prepare my next tray. Okay. I really hope yours are looking good and sort of similar to mine at this stage. I think literally even with 2 trays, I'm probably going to fill 4 trays of them with the amount of mixture I've still got left over. Of course, everybody, if you do like this recipe, please do put a note in the comments telling me how it's turned out for you and how easy you found it to follow along. Any tips, do let me know, and please do subscribe also. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get them vaguely cookie shapes at this point. It's much stickier than a cookie mixture. Not cookie, sorry, biscuit mixture. If you've ever made anything like biscuits, you'll know you can sort of roll them out and then use a cutter to get their shape. That is not the case with these. It is way too sticky to do that with. Way too sticky. So it's just a matter of literally trying to get them vaguely round at this point. And as I say, not making them too massive because they do kind of grow and flatten out. I wouldn't be surprised if these are stuck together by the time I get them out of the oven. Not that it matters too much. Okay. Try and get some chocolate drops in there. Alrighty, there are my next 6. Going into the oven, on the shelf, just above the other ones, but kind of middle-ish. Don't know if you can see, so there's the other ones. These are just going up above them there. Okay, so now I'm going to put my timer on for 10 minutes, and then I will be back with you. So you guys do the same. Get your timer out. Pop it on for 10 minutes. Okay guys, so my 10 minutes is up. So I will get the first set of cookies I put in out first. See, I told you they would spread out. I've done them all, there's only 2 of them that have fused together, but that's okay. So these look good to me because they're not still sticky. If you look in the middle and you can see them looking wet still, they're not quite done. These are a little soft to the touch, but that's fine. What I'm going to do is leave them on the baking tray for a while to harden up because they're still kind of soft at the moment. This is how they should be, soft to the touch, but not wet looking at all. Okay, can you see that? If you do have any darker, wet looking patches, pop them back in for a little longer, okay? And then I'm just going to leave them on the baking tray until they get a bit harder, okay? Let's check how the other ones are doing that I put in afterwards. They actually also look pretty good to me as well. I've got to say as well, guys, during that 10 minutes, it's a good idea to do some clearing up. Should have said that beforehand, but oh well. Also, I should probably have mentioned, I do still have absolutely loads of mixture left. So 12 cookies and I've still got probably more than half of it left. So I will end up doing loads of extra batches, but I'll just do 1 batch with you and then you can just repeat the process that we did of the adding them on and putting them in the oven for 10 minutes. If your first batch has come out looking a bit unevenly cooked, it might be that your oven's cooking a bit unevenly. If that is the case, 5 minutes through, just take the tray out, turn it around, put it back in. My oven's cooked pretty evenly, which is good. But as I say, if your cookies look like some are more cooked than others, you might just need to twist them around halfway through the cooking time. So yeah, again, these no wet looking patches. Last time I tried them, there were like some liquidy looking patches still. That's not what you want, but you do want them to be soft to the touch at this stage, because they will harden up as they cool down. Okay, let's see if these first ones have cooled down enough. So they're starting to get harder at the edge, which is good. That's what we want. So they're sort of slightly lifting up to my touch. I think I'll leave them a little longer. Turn my oven off. Actually, I won't turn my oven off because I'm going to do that other batch. I just want to do that on camera. Now, what I didn't say you need that is a useful item is like a flat spatula type thing. Got this one. Hopefully this will be flat enough just to scrape the cookies off with, really. So once you think they're hard enough, if yours have been out of the oven the same time as me, they should be just about hard enough now around the edges. So just carefully slide under. You see they slide off very easily actually, without the greaseproof paper and without any lard on the trays at all. And then just pop that on your cooling rack. Perfect. Be careful not to touch the tray, obviously. If they do break in the middle, it's not really too much of a problem. These ones are attached to each other. I'm just going to chop them off. There we go. Pop it on my cooling tray there. If one side feels a bit stuck, you can start from one side, then go in at the other. Because if you just keep going at one side, it's more likely they will snap off. So I'll start here, and then I'll go around the other side and just slide it off until it comes loose, because that stops them snapping in half then. And again. Coming off perfectly, so that's good. And one chocolate chip left for me. Okay, let's get the other ones off their tray. They've probably cooled down enough by now. So that's 6 done there. Let's get our other 6. And our other cooling tray. Just do the same with them. This is a little harder because it's not completely flat-sided, so it makes it a bit trickier to get to them. It's just got that lip on the side of this baking tray. Some of them you can get off in one swoop, others, as I say, you need to kind of go around both sides. Oh, these are coming off very easily today, that is what we want. Perfectly behaved cookies. Oh, spoke too soon, this one's a bit sticky. There we go, I got it. Oh no, definitely spoke too soon, I've destroyed that one. That's fine. Right, perfect. So currently I've got 12 cookies. I'm going to repeat the process again. I won't do it on camera because it's boring and you know how to do it. Of just getting 6 cookies, put them back in the oven for 10 minutes. Let's see how many cookies we can make out of this mixture. Okay, so having used up all of the cookie batter, I can tell you I've been left with 26 cookies. So I hope your cookies have all turned out really well. Please, if you do like this recipe, let me know in the comments section. Please do subscribe. Enjoy your cookies, guys.